yeah, and welcome back to my Critic After Dark YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be moving pretty quickly as per usual, because I have 5 individual titles today, and then I also have a box set that contains about 12 movies. So I'm just going to jump right into it and get moving. Actually, first off, I'm going to shout out Sinister Screens podcast. Went on that last night and had a freaking blast. I did 4 hours on there last night with Craig and Jay and Brennan and Sam from Our Life in Horror, and it was fun. We got into all kinds of conversations about tons of shit. So go check that out on Spotify, and they usually have YouTube, but I think they're having issues at the moment with that. But yeah, give it a check, because that was a ton of fun. Lots of great conversations. But right off the bat here, I'm going to jump straight into this. I'm going to do 30 Days of Night. This is based on the graphic novel. And Josh Hartnett. What year did this come out? Like 2009-ish? 2007, I think? Yeah, 2007, I think it's saying here. Absolutely love this movie. It's definitely a top 5 vampire movie of all time for me. I love that the vampires are actual, like, monsters. And not, like, I don't hate other vampire movies just because they're pretty people or whatever. But I appreciate the fact that they just give you, like, scary vampires in this. Like, honestly, it might even be the scariest vampires ever put in movies. Might be, okay. If I had to rank, like, I can't really do that. I'd have to do a whole episode, like, dedicated to my top vampire movies of all time and really think about it. But this one definitely makes a case for it. I love everything from, like, it just feels like it's straight from the graphic novel. Like, it's just, I don't know. It feels like you're flipping pages, basically. And then there's some cinematography in here that's excellent, like the bird's eye view scene where they're flying over the tiny town, and it's just chaos everywhere. Like, everyone's being killed, blood splatter galore. Ben Foster does a good job in this as the guy that, like, goes to the city and basically sets it all up so the vampires can kill everybody. But in case you haven't seen it, it's set in Alaska, where they have 30 days of night. It's a month without daylight, and basically they have to try to survive this vampire invasion. And it is done beautifully, I think. Like, I have a couple small errors. I just watched it this morning, and, like, a couple of the acting parts are a little bit weak. It feels like a couple of the characters aren't giving it their all, but for the most part, absolute stunning work. Must see 30 Days of Night. And I followed that up. This one I had never seen before, and it's 30 Days of Night, Dark Days. This is the second one. And this is a hard movie to talk about. I honestly, it's hard because I liked it, but not as a 30 Days of Night movie. Like, this shouldn't have followed up the first one, because the first one is such, like, just almost, it's almost masterpiece level, in my opinion. And this second one's, like, straight to DVD. No theater run, basically. It's like a big drop off, but yet there's a lot of cool kills in it. There's great, like, just corridor horror, basically, where it's just tight spaces. And the acting isn't, like, brutal. It's not great, but it's not terrible. I honestly think that if you haven't seen the second one, you should give it a watch, because I'd love to hear other people's take on, like, whether they think it's a good follow-up, because, oh man, the first one just feels like they're random creatures, random vampires attacking the perfect setting town in Alaska. And this one, they bring in, like, it's a society of vampires, and it's almost like governed. It's like an organization, and I didn't like that part. Like, I don't like the storyline at all. So let's just get that out of the way. I hate the storyline. But I love the look of all the vampires. I like all the characters. I like the kills, just how bloody it is. Like, it's a hard one. That one falls, like, in the 2.5 area for me, just because the storyline was bunk. And then next up here, I have one I just gave a watch to, actually. And, like, when I say just gave a watch to, technically I just gave a watch to everything I'm doing on my channel, but this is like, I just turned it off less than an hour ago. And that's The Boogans. This is from Kino Lorber, 1981. This is the 4K and Blu-ray. Yeah, it comes with the 4K and the Blu-ray there. I don't know if this has reversible. It does, okay. So we got that. And then we got the new stuff there. Oh, that's another one that's hard. I actually like them both. Damn. That's why I like, well, actually, like I always say, the slipcover art has it, so I can put the reversible on, which is nice. Okay, quick story before I get into this movie. I ordered this off Amazon, and oh my god, it's just a stupid story. I'm gonna tell it quick. I wasn't gonna, but I'm gonna tell it. So I ordered this on Amazon. It came brand new in the wrapper, like still wrapped and everything, right? Slip cover, everything. I open it up. I go to slide it up, and it's an empty Blu-ray case, and it has a burnt copy of The Boogans. Just says, it has, somebody wrote in magic marker, The Boogans, on the, like, disc, CD-ROM disc. And then so I'm like, what the hell? And at first I thought that maybe it came like that, and it was supposed to be like that. It caught me off guard. It's the first time this has ever happened to me through Amazon. And when I actually took the disc out, and it looked like somebody had taken a knife and, like, gouged all out. So I was like, okay, there's something wrong with this. So I send it back to Amazon. They send me this brand new copy right away. And then they tried to charge me for it twice and all that. That part doesn't matter. I just wanted to tell the story about just receiving a movie that's brand new in the wrapper, but somebody obviously repackaged it and stole the disc out. And I don't know why they put a different disc in, or maybe it was a manufacturing problem. I don't know. Just ridiculous. But yeah, The Boogans. This one, oh man, this is definitely a lower tier 80s horror for me. I had never seen it, and well, first off, it looks decent. This 4K is another case where they didn't, like, scrub it completely clean. It's still got grain, and it looks good. The way I like it, I mean. But the movie is so damn slow. Like, it's a creature feature. I won't ruin what the creature looks like and stuff, because it's kind of the point. Like, it doesn't show it through most of the movie, and then you finally get to see the creature. And it was just too damn slow. Like, nothing's happening in the first 3/4 of the movie, and then, like, it's just a off-screen kill, basically, for the first 3/4 of the movie, and then in the final act, you get to see a couple on-screen kills, and it's silly. It's like, it's a bunch of creatures that they accidentally release when they're mining, and then they just attack this, basically one house, but a couple others too. But yeah, this is one where I have a hard time recommending, because it's not cheap. Like, this 4K isn't the cheapest. And, like, if you can get it for, like, $20 or less, then I would definitely add it to your collection. But, like, I think I paid in the 40s for it because I couldn't find it. But yeah, just gonna move on. It's probably like a 2 maybe for me, something like that. Bit of a downer. This next one here, this is from Severn Films. This is Italian horror. It's Burial Ground, 1980. It's first time watch for me on this one. I really don't know what I fucking think. I think I need to watch this again before I can properly get a real feeling on it, because it's so, the cinematography is so weird. It's unlike anything I've ever seen. And then the score is like trying to be like Suspiria, but I don't like, oh man, it's so hard, this one, for me to rank. It's got, I turned it on with in the English, and the dubs were so terrible that I switched it over to Italian version. Just watched it in its original language. Sometimes, a lot of these Italian movies that I've seen are good in English. Like, they're actually pretty decent, and I like them, but this one was not. It is like just stale, dull talking, reading directly off a piece of paper, but it's not good. So I switched over to Italian. It helped a bit, but the acting is not great. Some of the dialogue isn't good. Oh man, it's so hard, this movie, because the zombies are awesome. The ending I loved. I loved all the kills. I loved the just weird cinematography. Like, I don't know, I shouldn't say loved. This is one I definitely recommend grabbing and giving it a watch, because it is different, and it makes you really wonder whether you like it or not when it's done. Like, it had finished, and I'm like, oh, like, what do I rate this? Like, this is crazy. It's one of those movies where it feels like you need a second, maybe even a third watch before you can properly judge it. But I would recommend grabbing it. I'm pretty sure this is just the Blu-ray. I'm pretty sure Severn just put this out on 4K as well, if you'd rather that. I wasn't going to upgrade because, like, Blu-ray. Like, I find with a lot of these boutique labels, it's kind of funny. Like, if you don't believe me, do a test, and any of your, like, boutique label 4Ks, take the 4K out, put it in, watch 5 minutes of the movie, take it out, put the Blu-ray in, and watch 5 minutes of the movie. It looks almost identical. Like, I feel like a lot of these boutique labels are just trying to capitalize on the 4K releases. Like, some of them are stand out. Don't get me wrong. Some look great. But when we're talking about classic, grainy, old-feeling movies, they can only look so good. So double dipping. Like, if I own it on Blu-ray, I won't upgrade to the 4K. But if I don't own it, obviously I buy the 4K edition. But yeah, Burial Ground, give that a try. It's a weird one. Some good gore though, and some weird moments that I won't spoil. And then my last one, before I get into my box set, this just came out on Blu-ray last Tuesday. This is Imaginary. New, like, I think this is Blumhouse, right? Yeah, Blumhouse and Lionsgate. It's, oh, this is another one that's hard. So this movie's getting a ton of hate, and I'll start off by saying it does not deserve the amount of hate it's getting. This is not leagues better than Night Swim, but it's better than Night Swim, the last horror movie I did from 2024 on here, which I thought was just shit. This one, it feels like a introductory movie yet again, like this PG horror, mainstream PG horror stuff that Blumhouse is pumping out. It feels like it's a good introductory movie for kids, but it also, it's unique. Like, it reminded me of like just 80s like magical horror, like fairyland kind of stuff, but with horror elements, if you know what I mean. Like, it's not I wouldn't say it's a pure horror movie. There's a couple good jump scares, but for the most part, it's more just about the, like, imagination, and the storyline is what this movie's about. And if you go into it expecting this scary, terrifying movie, you're going to be so disappointed, you're going to shit on it, like most people are doing. If you go in expecting, like, just something different, a storyline you haven't seen in a while, or ever maybe, and just, like, I don't know, I enjoyed it. This is like 2.5 area when I was thinking it was going to be like a half a star or something, like a fucking 1, and it's like a 2.5. I think it's worth a watch. I would. Oh, it's hard. Like, obviously, I recommend buying everything, because I'm a collector of everything, all media basically, that I can get my hands on. So it's hard for me to say don't go buy this. But obviously, put this lower on your list of things you need to get out there and grab right away. Yeah, so of those 5 there, 30, I'll put them in order here. 30 Days of Night would be my favorite out of these 5. Burial Ground would be my number 2. I would have to say Imaginary would be my number 3. Boogans. Boogans and 30 Days, Dark Days are tied. Those ones are too hard. But it's a decent little pile. I don't mind that. It's like, I enjoyed myself at least. Now we're going to get to my big beast for this episode. Now, when these first released from Arrow, I was so freaking excited. And not just because of how beautiful they are. I'll show them first here. This is Shawscope Volume 1. Limited edition from Arrow. Video here. Just very beautiful box. Absolutely perfect in my opinion. Looking, and just size too. Like, it looks beautiful on your shelf. It's got a nice tint to it that glares on light angles. So this was truly my first deep dive into Shaw Brothers Studios. I had seen a few of their movies, but nothing where I just went on a splurge basically. And I'm gonna start out with the book here. It's a pretty decent book. Like, this comes with art from all the movies, and then it's gonna have giant write-ups for each. I'm not gonna show you because I'm gonna show you what the inside this looks like, and that's where all the movie titles are. But it's like all the movies inside this book. I'll give you one page. And it gives you that much writing about every single movie here. The synopsis, you got the cast, all the film notes, you got trivia, you got guess the songs and what other movies they were in and stuff. It's just insane. And it's a beast of a book. Like, just thick. Tons of reading to be done here. Awesome book. Read the whole thing. Now here's your booklet movies all in here. And now this is absolutely perfect. I'm going to turn sideways a little bit here for a second so that I can actually show you and see it myself. Now, this was a first time watch for every single movie in here for me. Now, I watched these about 6 months ago, and I did a full write-up for each movie on my Instagram and showcased the whole box set on there and gave my ranking for each film in order from best to worst and stuff. But I gave them all a second watch, so this is technically my second viewing of each of these movies. Now, we'll start out here. First page is King Boxer. Now, this movie, this is the first, like, I watched them in order, too. This is the way I watched them. So, right out the gate here, it blew my freaking mind. This movie is freaking awesome. Everybody here is awesome. This villain, and this villain are just awesome bad guys. It's actually crazy how their stories play out. This is your good guy here. You see how his hands are red here? So, you know in Kill Bill, so Quentin is highly influenced off this one. I know that for a fact. Because, like, I have never heard him say it. But, like, just the Kill Bill alone, where it goes, does the siren. If you've seen those movies, like, it's that's straight up from this. And every time they do it, his hands, like, flash red. Because he's got, like, the iron palm technique that he's learned. And it's just freaking awesome. It's really cool. So sound quality, score is 5 out of 5 in this movie. Martial arts in this movie would be like a 3.5 for me. It's not quite as good as some of the other titles in here. But then the storyline is top notch. Storyline's like a good 4.5 for me. Just awesome. And then this first disc, like, look at everything it comes with here, right? This first disc also comes with part 1 of a 3-part documentary called Cinema Hong Kong. It says it's the first in a 3-part documentary from Shaw Brothers, placed within the martial arts genre, produced by Celestial Pictures. It features interviews with Jackie Chan, Jet Li, John Woo, Sammo Hung, like, just all the greats, basically. It's a 3-part documentary that's included. This only has part 1. Now, I have volume 2 of this set, and it has parts 2 and 3 on it. I'll be doing that in my next episode, because I watched all of those, too. It was a fucking marathon of martial arts in this house for the last week. So, yeah, King Boxer, top notch, must be seen. And then we follow it up with The Boxer from Shantung. This one is another, like, 4 out of 5. Great storyline. Ending sequence is freaking awesome. It's almost like gangsterish. This guy here, he's just a poor, like, homeless guy, basically, and he just wants to make ends meet, but he's a great fighter. So he just slowly rises and starts his own little gang and runs a certain part of town. And he basically gets greedy and wants it all. And it leads to a great freaking final half hour, 20 minutes showdown. It's freaking awesome. I absolutely love the ending. Might be the best ending in the entire box set for me. But oh fuck, tons of special features again too. By the way, everything you'd ever want. But this is another must watch. Then this one is a double, 2 movies on 1 disc. We got 5 Shaolin Masters here. This one, because I watched so many of these in a row, back to back to back, they were starting to blend in for me because on like, it was almost like, okay, what part was that from? What part was that from? Because I watched so many of them. It was freaking crazy. But 5 Shaolin Masters and Shaolin Temple. Shaolin Temple is widely acclaimed by a lot of people to be one of like the all-time greatest martial arts movies. I wasn't a fan of it. I actually found it kind of boring. Nothing much was happening for me. I didn't really care about the storyline that much, and it's really storyline heavy. 5 Shaolin Masters is action heavy. It starts right out with kung fu galore, and it just goes. It's kung fu throughout the whole fucking movie, basically. Stop to talk for a couple minutes. But both, like I said, every movie in this first box set here are must-sees. Like, there's nothing under a 3 in here. They're all 3s, 3 to 5s for me. Both of these are great too. I gotta move a little quicker here. I'm gonna be all night. I could talk about these fuckers. Alright, this one now. Mighty Peking, man. This is a King Kong rip clone. It's like a different version of it. It's a kaiju movie. Peking Man is a giant, massive King Kong creature. This girl is basically Tarzan, the ape girl, and she's a camera crew finds them. I'll just give quick synopsis here. There's tons more than what I'm saying to these movies. You need to watch them, but the camera guy, that just like in King Kong, but he falls in love with her, brings her back, tries to start introducing her to being like a human and not act like an animal. And then Peking Man, they capture it too, and they bring it back, and then it gets loose and comes to get her, basically. And it's kaiju stuff. Buildings crashing, war happening. Really fun. And then there's also some good music in this one too. Great music. We got next here. Challenge of the Masters and Executioners from Shaolin. Oof. Freaking great. So this actor here, oh my god, what the hell is his name? I think it's hard. It's like Chen Quan Tai or something. I don't want to get that wrong, so I'm not going to do names. But love him. He shows up multiple times. They all do, to be honest. As you're watching through, it's a lot of the same familiar faces. Gordon Liu, who's freaking awesome. Just a lot of the familiar faces, and you start to know who they are as you're watching them. It's like, okay, that guy, I just seen them. But yeah, both of these, excellent. I think Executioners was better. It's more heartfelt in it. Like, there's more storyline in it. And Challenge of the Masters is just some straight up crazy kung fu stuff. Both great as well. Look at the artwork on these fuckers though. Man, I wish they would keep going. They're not gonna, I don't think, but Arrow Video, I wish they would just keep releasing these and just give us, because Shaw Brothers has 800 or 1,000 movies in their vault. They're out of business now, but I would love to just keep adding these, because Shaw Brothers gets into horror, just all kinds, epics. But yeah, Chinatown Kid, This one introduces Alexander Fu Shang. Um, Loved it. This one is set in modern times. Well, modern for when it came out. Uh, I'll start off by saying that as well. Almost every single movie here takes place in the 70s in this box set. It might be every movie. I can't actually remember, but I know for a fact that almost everyone is a 70s 70s martial arts and kung fu. The second box set starts coming into the 80s a bit, but these ones are all 70s, I'm pretty sure. I might be wrong, there might be a couple of 80s ones in here, but yeah, this one's really cool. He's just Alexander Fu Shang, you'll know him if you start watching Shaw Brothers. He's in a bunch. Tragic death as well. Right at the height of when he was just starting to explode. He died in a car accident, and it was tragic. I believe he's only like in his 20s or early 30s. But this one, he comes over, he gets involved with some drug dealers. He rises up the ranks. It's very like story driven, but it's good. When there is kung fu, it's good. But very story driven. Love that one too. Didn't skip a page here, did I? Oh, this one's thicker than normal. Ooh, this one. Alright. Some people think The Five Venoms is one of the greatest martial arts movies of all time. I honestly would have a hard time arguing them. It is one of the greatest of all time. It is so freaking cool. So each one of these guys, and by the way, this is a team of 5 martial artists that are in like dozens of Shaw Brothers movies, all 5 of them together, and they're all playing different characters usually, but they're just a group of 5, and they're all masters of certain styles. Like each one of their masks represent a different style of martial arts, and they're all masters of it, and they all are scheming. I guess the movie starts out and it's showing you all of them training in their styles, like scorpion style, toad style, like all the different styles, and monkey style, doggy style. No, I'm just joking. And then it turns into like a scheming plot movie where everybody's scheming and you don't know who's who because nobody in the world knows who these people are because they always have masks on. And in the movie, you don't know who's who, because after it opens with showing them all in their masks and stuff, it cuts to this town and they're all scheming, but they're not wearing their masks no more, so you don't know who's who, and it's slowly like revealing basically as you go through, and it ends with some great martial arts, great storytelling. It's phenomenal. Crippled Avengers is actually pretty good too. For me, it's one of the bottom ones in this set, but it's still like a must watch. Must watch there. Absolutely love it. I'm so freaking happy with these. It's actually nuts. One of my favorite things I have. I think these are the last 2 here. Yep. Final 2 on this box set. And man, did they go out with a bang. So, you got, oh man. What the heck is his name? Is it Gordon Liu? I'll get back to you. When I do volume 2, I'll make sure I get all these names correct. Because a lot of these same guys are in number 2, too. But Heroes of the East is absolutely phenomenal. Dirty Ho is, too. This is crazy. Like, Dirty Ho. It's freaking awesome. Just that title alone. But in Heroes of the East, we have a Chinese master, and he marries a Japanese bride. And she's like, comes into his home, starts moving all his Chinese weapons off the walls and starts putting up her Japanese weaponry and is practicing kung fu constantly, and it's just not. It's basically not a woman's place for that time, and and then it also shows that she's kind of rude too. She's not respecting his culture. He's not respecting hers. That's what the story becomes, is a respecting of Japanese and Chinese culture, each other, respecting each other's. But without spoiling everything, obviously, him and his wife have a fight, and he basically kicks her ass. And she runs back to Japan and claims that he's beating her. And so all these Japanese martial art experts of Japanese martial arts. So you got like all the Japanese martial art styles like Taekwondo and karate, and you have all the masters from them coming over, and he has to fight them one at a time in challenges, and then it has a great ending where it all comes together. And there's a freaking sex scene in this one that's so funny. The first night that they're married, him and his wife won't let him between her legs, and so they have like a kung fu fight basically that leads to them doing it, which is funny because he's just trying to get between her legs, and she's stopping him because she's really powerful. She's like a karate expert. It's just funny shit. And then Dirty Ho. Don't let that title fool you. This is some phenomenal shit here. There is so much good martial arts off the fucking chain. But there's so much good choreography in this that it was blowing my mind. It was taking me a while to even figure out what they were trying to, the storyline they were trying to tell you with some of these scenes, like where he's okay. I'll start at the beginning. I'm getting too far ahead. Sorry. I'm so excited on these that I don't explain them very well. But basically, it's two. This is what I'm not going to reveal who this guy actually is. Let's just say that they're both con artists, and they're in on each other's territory, and basically he's gonna prove this guy to be just a complete fraud, and he keeps fucking him over constantly and taking his conning. But then you find out this guy's something else. He's not what you think he is, and they join forces, and the whole storyline changes and goes in a different direction, and it's just really freaking good. Like, it's funny as shit. It's just solid. I can't recommend this first box set enough. Every single movie here, I was like blown away by. And here's the thing. Actually, I'm gonna just show the last page here. It's just a write up on it, and then it comes with a bonus disc here that's all the music from a bunch of the movies, all the best songs basically. And then it comes with another bonus disc that's all more music from all the best songs. So yeah, beautiful box set. I'm going to put that away here for a second. And so up until like 2 years ago, I had never watched a martial arts movie that came out like before probably 1985, let's say. And I always thought that I had seen all the greatest martial arts movies of all time, because how could these old ones be that good? They probably look like shit. I used to just have a bad opinion of them. So all I ever seen was like all the modern stuff. Legend of the Drunken Master. And I'm not saying these movies are bad. These are still some of the greatest martial arts movies. Ip Man. Just unreal. Kung Fu Hustle's really freaking good. There's so many modern ones that are awesome. Ong Bak, The Protector. Tons. And I go back and I'm watching these, and these guys are nailing it. Like, it's kind of unreal how good these movies are. And it's too bad because I wish more people would just give them a chance, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. They're very good, and if you have any likeness of Chinese culture, or Japanese culture, if you like any sort of like just action movies in general, if you like historical stuff, like there's so much in these movies, and it's why I just wish that they would keep going, damn it. And okay, so I did get the guy right from Boxer from Shantung. His name is Chen Kuan Tai. Excellent actor in all of these that he's in. And the director of a ton of these movies from Shaw Brothers is Lau Kar Leung. He's like the martial arts instructor in a lot. He starred in he starred in early 60s movies for Shaw Brothers. And then he ends up rising up in their company, and he becomes like, he's doing all the martial arts instructing, he's doing all the work, and then he becomes a director for them, and he's directing shit tons of these movies. And just great, man. Can't recommend this box set enough. These are ones that I'm really proud to have my hands on. And you know what? Like, once these are gone, and like, they'll probably never get a release again. Like, I would be shocked if these ever actually get released again in my lifetime. Just because they're so niche. So if you have any interest in these, you pretty much have to go out and grab them immediately. Because once they're gone, and these movies will just be lost to the vaults. No streaming services would have any of these. No, maybe Arrow's streaming service if you signed up to them. Like, they have a streaming service, Arrow Video does. They might have it, but these movies, honestly, are must-sees, must-owns. They look beautiful on anywhere you put it. I have them decorated on a martial arts shelf I have over there. But just awesome. So yeah, thank you for joining me. I'm sorry if I bored you to death with martial arts. I know it's a very niche genre that not a lot of people like, but I absolutely love it. It's my second favorite movie genre. I know that's saying a lot, because like it's hard, because like action adventure is a movie genre, and I just disagree with that as a genre, because like that's everything basically. Like almost every movie falls into action adventure, so I don't really count that. But these would fall into action adventure. So I try to break it down to secondary genres, and martial arts, kung fu movies is probably like, it's right up there. It's one of my top 5, we'll say. I don't know about number 2, because that's a hard statement to make, but it's top 5 genres for me. And yeah, so I'm gonna come at you in my next episode. I'm gonna have volume 2. It's the only 2 volumes of that they put out, and another great box set, and I'll show that one off. And I'm also gonna have another stack of probably 5 horror movies again. So a little bit for everybody. That's what I'm trying to do. But yeah, thank you for joining me again. See you in a couple days.